ist dein Büro. Was machst du eigentlich? Du weißt Dinge, ich glaube, das machst du. Du sammelst Informationen und aus diesem machst du etwas Furchtbares.
Was bedeutet es dir, Geld auszugeben? $1? 1 Million?
Vertraue nicht den Standardmodellen. Denk über die Grenzen hinaus.
Du brauchst diesen Kick, erst dann fühlst du dich in deinem Element.
It's a story about a billionaire, a young billionaire in his limousine, crossing from the east side of Manhattan Island in New York City to the west side along 47th Street in order to get a haircut. That's the plot of the movie.
It's about a guy who's a financial trader, who's a currency trader in New York, who has become so successful to the point that he feels he doesn't belong in this reality anymore, and he thinks that there's another reality which he's desperately trying to search for. And he wakes up on the morning which the movie's set and thinks that he can find it that day. He has a feeling which he's going to find reality that day, and begins his attempt for it.
Ich will mehr. Zeig mir etwas, das ich noch nicht kenne.
Why did you choose Robert Pattinson as the lead actor?
Well, the actor who plays the lead in this movie is in every scene in the movie. And I felt I needed an actor with great charisma, great charm, of course I thought he had to be a wonderful actor because there's a lot of dialogue. I mean, he speaks a lot in the movie. So I needed someone who had those qualities, you know, who you would watch constantly and you would never be bored looking at him and listening to him. And when I thought about all the actors who were the right age and the right feeling and could do an American accent, because the character is a New Yorker, and so the actor has to be able to do a convincing New York accent. And I knew that Robert could do that. When I put all of those things together, I came up with Robert Pattinson, and I think he's fantastic in the movie.
Mord ist eine logische Erweiterung des Geschäfts.
So reich und knackig.
Ich rieche Sex an deinem ganzen Körper.
After Twilight you became a sex symbol, a shooting star, and I guess your whole life changed. How did that change your perspective of life and your personal goals?
It didn't really. I mean, I've always kind of known what I want, but I mean, sort of. And I just kept going for that. I mean, I never saw Twilight coming, and so you kind of have to ride the wave a little bit. But yeah, it didn't really change my goals that much. I just wanted to make good movies. That's my only goal. And you just try to figure out how to do that.
You've worked on films as a director and as a screenwriter before.
Yes.
But other times only as a director.
Yes. That's right.
Which kind of work do you prefer?
It's the same, really, in a sense, that once you're on the set directing, you forget who wrote the script. It doesn't matter if it's yourself or somebody else or you adapted it for something else, and I've done all those. Suddenly you are trying to make the screenplay work. You have your crew, you have your actors, and you're trying to make it work and get the most potential out of it, everything out of it. So I really don't have a preference. I mean, it really makes no difference to me as a director whether I wrote the script myself or not.
Dies ist ein Protest gegen die Zukunft. Sie haben vor, die Zukunft aufzuhalten.
Das ist ein Skandal, Mann. Zu sterben ist ein Skandal, aber irgendwann ist jeder dran. Er ist da draußen. Und er ist bewaffnet. Ich fühle mich freier, als ich es jemals zuvor war.
How did you prepare for that role?
Before I started shooting, it was quite. It was really difficult. I mean, it's quite an obscure script, and it's quite complex. And also just the way it's not standard English as well, even for an English speaker. Like there's something about it. I like the lyricism of the script when I first read it, but as in terms of really understanding him, I didn't really get it until I started shooting. I mean, you start getting a rhythm and a feeling, and then I understood it more and more.
Which requirements does a story have for you to want you to make a movie out of it? Do you have some special points?
You know, that's interesting. I don't have any requirements. I mean, some people think that you have a list of things that there must be in a script or a project, you know. And for me, they think, oh, he must have body horror, he must have some kind of sex identity problem, you know. But in fact, I don't have that list. And when I read Cosmopolis, it was a surprise because it's not something I ever would have thought. Yes, this book, I must make a movie. So I am quite open, you know, to any kind of thing. I mean, I think I could make 1,000 movies. They would all be very different, you know. So I have no requirements.
What did you like about the story?
Well, it has wonderful dialogue that is very revealing about the characters and about the way life is lived right now by certain people. It is also very much about money and the abstraction of money and the difficulty of dealing with money. And when I started to make the movie about 3 years ago, we weren't in the financial crisis that the world is in now, so it seems to be amazingly contemporary, you know, even though that wasn't the reason that I made the movie, but it is a very compelling reason maybe to see the movie. It suddenly is, it's like we were making a documentary instead of making a fiction film.
Alles in unserem Leben hat uns zu diesem Moment geführt.